Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I just got back from Tulsa, Oklahoma for the MVP weekend, sponsored by attorney Demario Solomon Simmons. It's a great weekend event for African American boys, and I'm going to interview Demario this week so he can talk about the MVP weekend, how he got the resources to do it, how he mentors the boys over the weekend, so that you can implement something like this in your own community. Because I think it's a great model, it's a great template that I think should be followed across the country. We brought in over 100 boys and just talked to them about manhood, all the things that young black men need to know to be successful. As you know, I did write something or create something. It's an audio product because I want it to be easy for people to digest. It's called The 8 Principles of Black Male Empowerment. 8 Principles of Black Male Empowerment, which I consider to be 8 things every black man needs to know in order to be successful. You can find out more about it at store.yourblackworld.net. That's store.yourblackworld.net. Now, with that being said, let's move on. I saw that Raven Symone from The Cosby Show, well, that's where we all know her from, was on The View, and she was talking about Harriet Tubman versus Rosa Parks being on the $20 bill. And one of the things that Raven said, which was really interesting, was she said that she would prefer to see Rosa on the $20 bill because Rosa is more reflective of what she calls the progress that we've already made. And a lot of people were offended by what she said, kind of throwing Harriet. Rosa wouldn't go to the back of the bus, but it looks like Raven wants to throw Harriet under the bus. And I just really think that people are right to be outraged. I think that Raven, is a little bit of an embarrassment. She is obviously a talented actress, obviously brilliant. She had to be brilliant in order to go on national television at the age of 3. I think that requires some intelligence, and I respect that. I saw her on the Disney Channel back in the day. She was good at that. She's a great actress. But one of the things that we have to get away from in the black community is allowing these woefully uneducated black entertainers to really talk on important issues in the black community. Now, this does not mean that every entertainer is unqualified. I'm not saying that at all. Some guys like John Legend are extraordinarily prepared to talk about almost any issue. I have a lot of respect for John Legend in terms of what he does and how he does it. There are several female celebrities that I think would be great as well to speak on important issues. But I think that when you get to the point where you put your microphone in the face of any Negro on TV and they're speaking on these very important issues in the black community, it kind of becomes just kind of a stupid embarrassment for all of us. It becomes just something so painfully difficult to watch that people walk away just saying, why the hell are these white folks pointing and listening to some of these black people that are clearly from another planet? You got people like Raven Symone, you got Stephen A. Smith, old Don Lemon. Some of the stuff he says is just about as dumb as you can get. And it's just it's interesting because they really don't want to hear from thoughtful, intelligent black people, particularly those who have progressive ideas that are independent ideas for the black community. And I think, and that's why I give Roland Martin, for example, credit for interviewing Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, Umar is controversial, no doubt. You don't have to agree with everything Umar says to appreciate the good things that Umar says and to appreciate the fact that millions of people love Umar because he delivers a message in a way that people like to hear it and in a way that actually works. I interviewed Dr. Kevin Cosby. I've interviewed some HBCU presidents, a lot of people that are really qualified to talk about these important topics. But what do? They turn to Raven Symone. What? I guess it comes with her role on The View to talk about these issues, to give her views. But just because you're in front of a lot of people doesn't mean your opinion actually matters. For her to say what she said about Harriet Tubman, it was very hurtful because it's a continuous reminder of just how America wants to take its worst atrocities, the worst Holocaust, one of the worst Holocausts in human history, and sweep it under the rug and act like it never happened. They want to move forward to the civil rights movement, which people are starting to question. People are wondering if that really actually helped us as much as people say it did. And they want to pretend like slavery never happened. They want to pretend like millions of black women did not get raped by their masters. They want to pretend like black men were not emasculated and beaten to death in front of their families. They want to pretend that they don't have lots and lots of women who were traumatized by having their children taken away from them during slavery or having their children lynched in front of them. They want to pretend like those things didn't happen. And when I look at Harriet Tubman's face, and most of the time when you see her face, she's not smiling. It's a very stern look. She looks like somebody who's really been through a lot. She has a very tough, very cold kind of look in her eyes, her skin, everything. And to me, that is a reflection of what so many millions of black women have gone through to create this, what they call this strong black woman. And I don't think it's that much fun to be a strong black woman because strength usually comes from unspeakable amounts of pain. My grandmother, God rest her soul, Felicia Couch, was a strong black woman. I mean, just as stoic as you could be. You could tell her that the earth was going to blow up tomorrow, and she wouldn't even flinch. She's seen all kinds of horror, terror, isolation, disappointment, pain, misery, you name it. And that's what made her this strong black woman. And I think that as we appreciate and celebrate that strength that comes with being a black woman in America, not every black woman has this strength. Some black women we see today on TV and these reality shows, some of them are just flaky. But the ones that are truly strong, truly holding it down for the community, we can give them that respect. But at the same time, we have to create a world where black women don't have to be superhuman in order to survive and in order to potentially thrive. So when I see Harriet Tubman, I see a strong black woman who was made strong because her life was a living hell. She just overcame the torture that was inflicted upon her, and for that reason, she deserves to be celebrated. I mean, I'll be damned. You're going to put Andrew Jackson, George Washington, all these slave owners on these bills, but you're not going to put Harriet Tubman on the bill. Somehow, Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill is offensive, or it makes people uncomfortable. All she did was want something that every American should have from birth, which is freedom. All she wanted was freedom. And somehow you want to equate her with the most offensive figures in American history. And there's nothing offensive about people wanting freedom, equality, or loving their own people. So if you want my vote, I say we put Harriet on the 20, and then if we want to put Rosa on another bill, we do that. But we got to start from the beginning. And in fact, maybe there's another hero before Harriet that we may want to lean to because we have to throw it in people's faces, and we got to keep talking about it. So Raven Symone, you're the only person I don't want talking about this because you don't know what you're talking about. And I think that whenever a celebrity like Raven says something stupid like that, it's up to all of us to come together and to say, we're not letting you do this. We're not going to celebrate you and glorify you just because a white man gave you a job on TV. God bless you for that. That's nice. Good luck to you. We're glad you're making money. But you're not going to throw the whole black community under the bus just because you got a TV show. That no longer makes you special. This is a new day in black America. We're talking about 21st century blackness, and I think it's going to take us above and beyond anything we've ever had in the past. And for those of you who are riding with me on this, I'm riding with you too, and we're going to ride this train until the wheels fall off. So anyway, that's it. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and just so you know, we have a new film out called Resurrecting Black Wall Street, about the Black Wall Street atrocity that occurred in 1921, the Black Wall Street Massacre. And I want people to know this story. I want every black child in America to know this story. I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma this week. Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the Black Wall Street Massacre occurred. I asked the black boys in the room, I said, how many of you know about the Black Wall Street Massacre, or the Tulsa Race Riots, as they call it? It wasn't really a riot, it was a massacre, but that's what they call it. Only less than half of the boys raised their hand in this room. That broke my heart because you live right there in the community that was hit by this atrocity. Many of you would have families that have millions of dollars in the bank, maybe billions, if that wealth had not been stolen from whites or stolen by whites in 1921. Many of them are descendants of the individuals who died or had their wealth stolen from them. So you take $10 million in 1921 and you compound that interest, you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, if not $1 billion or more, that would be in some of these families had this wealth not been stolen. And the fact that less than half of the boys knew about the Tulsa race riots told me that nationwide, most of our children don't know this very important history. So we're actually developing some platforms that will help you to do what I think every black parent in America needs to do, which is to educate your own child. Don't rely on your oppressive system to educate your child. Don't rely on your oppressive system to make sure that you can get what you need economically. You get that for yourself. So our goal at the end of the day, I'm a teacher. That's what I've been doing for 21 years, teaching college students and stuff like that. And so when we do things, we're trying our best to teach, but at the same time, we have fun. We as you see, we'll talk about a lot of fun stuff too. We're not serious all the time, because you can make progress and not have to be all serious all the time. I'm not a serious person like that. But when it's time to be serious, let's just get it done. Well, anyway, that's it. So I hope you check out the film. It's at resurrectingblackwallstreet.com. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless. I'm gone. And Raven Symone, please shut your mouth unless you know what you're talking about because we don't want to hear this anymore. Talk to you soon.